real nice close shave you're going to get with this big, beautiful behemoth. Look at that blade. Look at the size of this monster. Look at that. What is it, folks? What is it? This is the legendary Gil Hibben blade. The big Bowie knife from Expendables 1, 2 and 3. And possibly, if there's any more, I'm sure it'll make an appearance too. In the first movie, this was wielded by Gunnar Jensen at the start. Gunnar Jensen played by Dolph Lundgren, who goes apeshit and tries to hang a Somali pirate because pirates get greedy. So he's ousted from the ranks of the Expendables led by Stallone's Barney Ross, and this knife gets inherited by Lee Christmas, played by Jason Statham, the Blade Man, who uses it a little bit in the movie. And then of course when Gunnar Jensen is brought back into the fold, we do see at the end of the movie, you just see the hilt when he's back with the gang and they're in the bar and they're having a bit of a knife joust, and he's just sitting off trying to make friends with the crew again. You see it's there. Expendables 2, Gunnar uses it, you see it. You see him cutting into rocks, trying to make his explosive stuff down in the caves. And then you see it he does stab a couple of people at the end in the big battle in the airport. And Expendables 3, when they rescue Wesley Snipes' manic doc from a prison train, armoured prison train. And he's springing from that. He says, I need a shave and all that, so give me your blade. And he's got a big afro beard and he begins to shave it off. Great big swathes of it coming off. Like you just sharpen that before you bring it back. So, what have we got here then? This is a replica of the Gil Hibben blade. And it's a wonderful, absolute monster. It's a whopper. Your blade here is literally, it's 13.75 inches long. The overall length is 19.5 inches, including all the hilt. And it's a very, very good replica of the original blade. Now, this one comes from Prepper Shop, of course, and it's made by Anglo Arms. We know them, we love them. Quality stuff, 440 stainless steel. In the movie, it's synthetic ivory, is what's meant to be this hilt here. Of course, this is just resin, but it looks the part. All that's missing from this is the Expendables logo. You see it there. You see it there. But, and I always say that I don't like logos on knives. I don't like the characters' names on it because like they're going to go into combat with the name Rambo all over their knife. Thing is, I do like logos if they're actually on the blade in the movie, and everything that the Expendables uses has got its own logo on it, so I kind of wish that was there. And there are replicas which do have it. Obviously Gil Hibben did a limited range of these, and other outlets did carry the official lines, but this replica does not have the logo on it. But hey, I don't mind at all. So let's have a good look at this. Typical old school Bowie style. Clip point, massive downward force on this. It's a shockwave, big bulky blade. The belly of this blade is immense, carries so much strength. Gold covered crossguard. And you've got, well, this sort of blade, some people call it a blade catcher. That's your blade catcher there. And there's a design for that, which in fencing the idea should be that when you go in close on someone else who's fighting you, you can literally use this to take out their blade from their hand, disarm them. Now, on knives, that's not the most practical of things to have, but on a knife this size, that can work. So I kind of like that, but normally they'd both be angled down the blade to try and catch an opponent whose blade might slide down, and then you can twist and pivot and remove it from their grasp. In this case, it's just really for the sake of being ornate and decorative, which it works to a T. I have picked one of the sunniest days to do this. I mean, look, if we catch that sun just right, I could solar power an entire nuclear fleet. Look at that, it's beautiful, isn't it? I hope you can see it. I hope you're not just getting like a complete just dazzle. Jingling, jingling. But this is a beauty, an absolute beauty. The tapering on the blade is fantastic. Try and get that lined up just right. The weight of it is 824 grams. Now the balance of it is round about there, I would say. I might have got that wrong. I often do. It's somewhere there. Obviously, it's exceptionally blade heavy. It's designed to be like that. That's the whole point. Cutting, slicing, thrusting. It is, you know, you're going to cut through wood. Get the door! You're going to cut through wood, you're going to cut through vegetation, you're going to cut down trees, you're going to cut through rope, cord, twine, bones, because it can do all of that. The 440, that's the standard stainless steel, you know, we're not talking titanium here, but there's enough power, strength in this and durability to last you a lifetime. It comes very, very sharp. The tip is exceptionally sharp, and I was quite surprised to find just how sharp the actual blade was, because a lot of them are they're kind of blunted down, but this actually does carry quite a bit of savagery there. Now, tang wise, I don't know the full spec, but with the weight and with the balance, that blade, it won't, obviously it's not the full width of the blade there, and I think you can maybe just see there's a section probably about an inch, maybe an inch and a half in the middle of that blade. I don't know if you can see there, and I would think that that is what's travelling down. It definitely is a full tang, but I don't think it's as thick as some people might like to think it is. But anyway, now I've got small hands, but I know some people are saying you can use it two-handed. Well, I've got small hands, and to be perfectly honest, that's going to be a bit of a squeeze. You could do if you're chopping, you know, but a full, massively powerful, you know, downward swing. You're cutting through logs, you're severing something you shouldn't be severing, you know. But then, yeah, maybe, but that second hand is not fitting on there, not comfortably. You could wield it like that, I suppose, but you know, it's definitely more comfortable in the grip of your arm and hand of choice. Now, as I say, that blade is very, very sharp. And the downward swing, the power that you've got with it, it cuts through anything with ease. I have chopped a few logs already. I might do one in a minute, but to show you. But where is it now? I hacked into this, and like you can see, that's pretty solid. And it's crumbling now because it took a battering from this. And I did do a demo for myself before with a full plastic bottle of soda water, and it sliced through it. So we've got another one, so hopefully, you know, it'll be all right on the night. We'll see if it works second time round, because man, it went with a hell of a pop, you know. Literally. But so you've got this blade grip here, which is just a nice piece of ornate design work. As I say, it's not a stealth weapon. It's based on the traditional Bowie knife, a hunting survival knife, which of course could be used for fighting if necessary. And the size of that, you could, if someone's coming at you with a bayonet, someone's coming at you with a sword or even a machete, you know, it could easily be used to combat that. And again, you know, with this sort of half blade catcher, you could call it, really. I mean, the way it's angled, your fingers fit very comfortably behind that, and that could be used to twist and pivot. So, you know, but it'd still be very, very handy if someone was coming at you with something of equal size, if not bigger. So, you know, it works. This resin handle, there's slight ergonomics going on here. There's a slight belly and bulge here. You know, it does fit the hand. Again, I always say about small hands, which I've got small hands, but I've never encountered a problem really with a blade, apart from one recent blade review I did where the handle was just even too small for me. But that's beautiful, and the weight, the balance, the control, the manoeuvrability, there's a lot going on there. Expendables movies, I love them. I know some people go like, oh, it's just cheeseball. Of course it's cheeseball, but it's bloody awesome action as well. People who love the Expendables actually tend to not like the first movie as much. I love the first movie. I think that's the most violent one. They toned it down successively throughout the next two movies. And of course, the third one, Expendables 3, brings in a younger team. You got Ronda Rousey there, and but whoever the other people are, like, and even Kelsey Grammer's in there. But Antonio Banderas, he's just awesome in it, and he's not exactly one of the younger members of the new squad, like, and they play on that joke quite a bit. But Expendables 2 is the one with Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce, Arnie, everybody's in there. And although I like a lot of it, it just, there's too many stupid one-liners which just don't work. And I just can't stand seeing Bruce Willis anymore. I just cannot stand him. The guy is gone loco, and he just bores me to tears. And trying to be funny and hard at the same time in an Expendables movie, it just does not work. However, Expendables 3, the young team goes tits up against Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson as, was it Stonehouse, Stonemore, Stone Garden, Stonewall, Stone something. He's just Stone, who's founded the Expendables team with Barney Ross. But then he's turned bad. He's got no moral code. So him and Barney are old nemesis and arch enemies. But of course, you always thought that Mel Gibson's character was dead, but he's back and he's an arms dealer. So now it's personal and you've got to take him out, but doesn't go quite according to plan. But Gibson plays a really tremendously funny and charismatic bad guy, and a formidable force to be reckoned with in the action scenes. The gunplay, he's terrific, but you know Gibson can do that. And when he's slugging out with Barney Ross at the end, and he gets whacked in the gob, and he's got blood coming out of his mouth, he looks savage. This is Gibson, you know, he looks, whoa, this was the prettiest boy in Hollywood, you know, but he looks like a monster in that. But back to this beauty. It doesn't get used extensively in the movies because obviously you want the tactical blades, and Statham is, you know, your knife man, and he's mostly using throwing knives, and a variety of others as well. But this does come into use, and I say he inherits it from the ousted Gunnar Jensen in the first movie, and in the battle in the tunnels you definitely see him using this in a couple of brief shots. And Expendables 3, I do believe that you see Sly using it, and I don't know how he came to get this, but he definitely, in that big apartment block where it's World War 3 in Bulgaria, that's where he filmed it, tanks are going in, helicopters are going in, they've got hit squads on motorbikes and just squads of goons going in left, right and centre. But you definitely see, like, Sly gets this, stabs one, uses his body as a shield, and hacks another guy, and then leaves it in another one's body. It's a very quick sequence though, but I do believe it's this knife. And of course at the end of the first Expendables, when they take out Eric Roberts as the renegade CIA guy Monroe, the running sort of duel between Stallone's Barney Ross and Eric Christmas. Eric Christmas was in the Porky's movies. Lee Christmas, Jason Statham. Is it like, they reckon, you know, I can beat you with a blade. You be your bullets, I can beat you with a blade. And Stallone's always going like, bullets are faster than blades. But at the end, because Stallone's character has a great 1863 single shot Colt revolver, always tucked away in the back, and he fires it like that, brilliant. And it's in all three movies, and it's just superb. And he pumps bullets into Monroe and Eric Roberts, but at the same time as that happens, from behind, this just goes like that through his chest at the exact same time. So like Lee Christmas just goes, we'll call that a tie. Awesome stuff. This, folks, from Prepper Shop, retails now at, I've got my little notes down here, £28.95. That is a wonderful, wonderful price for a blade of this high standard. It's beautiful. Yes and no, it does not have the logo on it, which would be nice, but the quality of the knife itself is just excellent. I've chopped through a lot of stuff with it already. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's a frighteningly formidable piece of kit. Sharp, heavy, but good weight to it, good balance. It feels right. You know, that's not. You hit something, that's not going to go ping and fly backwards off. You're not going to snap the hilt. Nothing's going to go wrong with that. That is beautifully constructed. And it's, apart from the logo, it's identical to what you see in the movie. All three movies. Some sell it as the Expendables 2, some sell it as the Expendables 3. As I say, it basically is just the Expendables Bowie knife, and it's in all three movies. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The clip point, fantastic. The little ricasso, all these little details that are there. The gold covered guard, and the hilt, the cross guard, magnificent. It's just a beauty. It's bigger than the Rambo 3, which of course was Gil Hibben again. So that was, I think, one of the biggest blades that I had, knife wise, but that's dwarfed by this. Look at that. Even the Mick Dundee, the Crocodile Dundee Bowie knife, even that isn't as big as this. You know, there are bigger Bowie knives out there, and you get custom made ones which are absolutely huge, but you know, you can go too big with these things. A knife is a knife, you know, and it's got a purpose. You make a blade too long, it becomes a machete, but it then should be built as a machete, and the handle should reflect that. So then it's not a knife, it's a machete. This thing about the Predator machete, which I've done videos on that, you've seen that, and it's a wonderful replica as well. Beautiful construction, very accurate. But some people class that as it's the Predator knife. It's not. That is a machete. That reaches the dimensions and the balance and the weight and the usage of a machete, not a knife. It's not a Bowie, you know. But then you go beyond into swords and that sort of thing, cutlasses. But this, I think, is at the threshold. That's at the border. You know, the very pointed, explosively nasty border between the knife and machete. But the way it's handled, its usage is pure Bowie knife. There's a lot more versatility to this than a machete. But again, very similar in its downward power, its cutting, its severing, its thrusting. Which is what it's all about. 1,000,001 uses. Absolutely fantastic. So, okay. Should we do some cutting? Some cutting edge stuff. Let's put the firepower down for a minute. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because I'd have to reposition the camera and all that sort of stuff. Right, so let's, okay, well, yeah, you know, somebody else is chopping as well. Let's see if we can angle this down a little bit. Let's see if you're going to catch anything here. Let's hope so. I don't want to put it on top of the barrel. Well, that's not going to do it, is it? That's not going to do it, Kilt-Man. Completely balls that up there. Move that out of the way. Bring this down a wee bit. If you can see that. Still not right. Don't worry. Bear with me. Let's do that. You still can't see it, can you? Well, look, doesn't matter. Right, anyway. Okay. One hand chopping. And there wasn't much pressure on that. There wasn't much of a downward swing. You see? Let's do it again. If you see any fingers come flying off, worry not. I've got plenty more. Loads of spares. Now, if you were chopping logs, you would then bash the back of this to chop through and cut the wood. Yeah, you got no worries with that, have you? It's doing its job. Now let's just... Oh, hey folks, we're back again. No need of that. Now you may notice I've just put that on top for target practice. Now this worked before. You just know this is not going to work this time round. But if it does go up, it's going to explode. That's what it does. and you might get a bit of a shower yourselves. So if I were you guys, I'd stand well back. But you've seen its chopping abilities. I mean, you can sever rope, big thick rope. I haven't got any to show you, but it will do it. It's going to go through anything. If I had any trees left, which I've already chopped down with some of the other knives, then I'd show you on a big tree trunk, but we'll have to make do with this. If all this goes completely awry, I'll leave the links to getting this down below, and please leave a donation to Mrs. Kilt-Man if I drown in the subsequent explosion and tsunami. This should work. Should work. No guarantee at all. You're all waiting for this to go horribly wrong. I know. But here you go. This should go straight through. Ready? A 1, a 2, 3. There you go. You did get splashed, didn't you? Oh. Well, I've got to be honest, it didn't sever this one. It severed the last one totally clean through. So, I don't know. You can take that as a partial failure. But the point of it is, it didn't just send it, launch it into orbit. It did go through. The last one, it actually severed completely. I'm looking for the remains of the other bottle, but well, you can't win them all, can you? But that just means that you come back for more. More. Wait there. I'm not giving it that easy. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. However, I think this is the last bottle that we've got. So anyway, right, are you ready? Let's get this. Let's do this. Go, Kilt-Man, you always push things too far. You've been lucky so far. Now it's all gonna go awry. Come on now. Ready? Look at the face. Intense concentration. It's hanging on by a thread. Do you remember the classic James Glickenhaus early 80s thriller, The Exterminator, the flashbacks to Vietnam and the capture by the air, the VC, and one of the poor guys gets his head severed by a big VC machete and his head just hangs off by a little thread. Oh yeah, you got it there. Look at that, that was almost all the way through. Damn it! Anyway, you get the point. This is a bloody good blade, folks. If you're into your knives and your movie replicas and functional blades, this one is a winner all round. It's a beauty. So, without further ado, please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. If you've got a Barney Ross beret, bring it on your noggin and let's go to war. So, folks, in the meantime and in between time, please remember the bullets that go faster than blades. Sometimes. Gonna see you all later for our next mission.